All right. Welcome to another edition of Living the Dream with Todd Probasco, mortgage banker at Lakeside Bank in Chicago. And today I'm really excited. We have a special guest, Jason Hyland from Sub 70 Golf out in Sycamore, Illinois. Jason, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on today. Appreciate it. Looking forward to the conversation.
Absolutely. I think you'd have to be living in a cave if you're a golfer and haven't heard of your company, seen your logo. You guys have done some amazing things in what is a very competitive industry with some big players. The fact that you are locally owned and operated and you've built a company to compete with those behemoths, if you want to call them, I think is amazing. Similar to my same situations, maybe why we connected. I work for a local bank. I'm not one of those big monster banks you see on stadiums and billboards, but we're locally operated just like you, and people kind of like to do business with local businesses. So I think that's kind of cool what you've done. Without further ado, why don't you give us a little information on your background and who you are, what you've done, and how you got into the golf business?
Yeah, so I've been one of those kids that was around the golf course my whole life. Mom would drop me off and I would play. Played in college and realized pretty quickly if I want to be around golf, I don't have the talent to be a touring pro or anything close to that. So
You're not? You're not a touring pro?
Oh God, no.
Okay,
I saw that in college right away. I'm like, I can play, but I can't really play, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe another reason why we probably get along.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said maybe another reason why we get along. We're not touring pros.
No, I have never had the talent to do that or close to it. So I figured out if I wanted to be around golf, I better got in the business side. So I started a golf component company when I was 22 after college, and have been able to work. I'm 52 now and been able to work in my whole life. So I've yet to have a real job in life. So I've basically been around it since a kid.
That's amazing. All right. So you play golf, you enjoy golf, and all of a sudden you're like, I need to make a living. And like you said, you've had some jobs in golf.
I started my own company at 22, right?
Amazing.
So yeah, I mean, right. So I didn't, it sounds awful. I didn't want to get a job in anything else.
Yeah.
Like I loved it. So I was like, well, how can I make this work? So I went on my own at 22 and started a golf component company. So yeah,
congratulations.
Not had a real job for a long time.
Congratulations.
Trying to keep it that way.
Yeah, I love it. Well, all right, let's dive into Sub 70 Golf. Where did that idea come from, and how did you get that started?
So in about 2014 or 15, I knew I wanted to start the third company and do it a little bit different. I wanted to do something boutique and high end, and like, how can we be different from the other companies that were out there? And that's about at the time when other brands like Shinola for watches and leather goods and Combatant Gentleman was doing it in suits of doing higher end boutique direct to consumer. So we kind of use those platforms of like an opportunity to differentiate ourselves from the other golf club companies. Mm-hmm. So it was sort of just paying attention to the industry, trying to fill a niche that we thought was void at that point in time, and try to do it with really great customer service, hand build everything, but do it on the direct to consumer model. So that's kind of what separates Sub 70 out, that the price point is going to be better because there's not a traditional distributor in it. Sorry, I'm trying to get the right word here. It's just from us to the to the customer. So it's just more efficient, and we can hand build everything here in Sycamore, Illinois. So it's just it's a little bit of a different model than the traditional golf company.
Excellent. How do you market the company? How do you let the golfers know who you are and what you have available? What ways are you doing that?
Social media, internet marketing, live streaming for golf will be on our commercials, will be on that. So it's more of a modern way of reaching people, but that's our main avenues of getting it out there. And a lot of companies do reviews on our equipment that are third party and independent. That's been, a very big help, because thank goodness our products get, rated really well, and it builds credence or credibility to the brand. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's kind of how we get our messaging out there.
Love it. Before we get into the products, another question for those listening who are into golf. When you're buying online from consumer to you, a big push right now is to go get properly fitted. How do they know what to buy, which club, if they're buying it online with you? How does that work? If I don't know which one I need to get, how do I know which one to get? How does that all work if I'm doing it online?
Reaching out to our customer service team, or I still take calls on that stuff to make sure that the product is correct for you. Also, like doctor's notes, if you get fit locally, we have a full line of clubs. For argument's sake, Mizuno has a full line of clubs. So if they fit you in a Mizuno club, we can look at those notes and say, okay, our club head in that product category is this model. And we all use the same shafts from KBS and True Temper and whatnot. So length is length, lie is lie. We all use the same grips and simply be substituting our head in for that. So it's like doctor's notes. We can read it and understand what's going on. And we try to make the customer service very, very responsive. You talk to a real human in Sycamore, Illinois, and guys who really know their stuff to make sure that that customer is getting exactly what they need.
Love it. That's awesome. So they're going to get what they need as long as they have the right prescription per se. I love it.
And we can guide them as well, right? And it's every time it's a little bit different, but it's super important to us, obviously, that the customer who gets something from Sub 70, it helps them, they play better, and they're happy with it, right? And we have a very liberal, return policy too. If something's not right, reach out to us. We never want somebody keeping something that's not perfect for them.
Love it. All right, what everybody's wondering, they're listening to us right now. They want to know product and price point. Let's talk about your product mix. What do you offer? Where do you fall price-wise in the market? Let's talk about products and price. That's what everybody wants to know. I'm sure you got great quality. Let's talk about all that, if you don't mind, kind of bring it together for us.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has to be ultra premium quality or the model doesn't work, right? And we have a full line of clubs from putters to driver and everything in between, different irons for different, from tour player stuff to get full game improvement, different grinds and wedges. So there's a lot of products if you go to our website. It's a full golf company. We have everything that let's call them traditional brands would have.
Okay.
Typically, we're about 30 or 40% cheaper, hate to use the word, less expensive than the traditional golf companies because there's not another retail store marking it up to 40%.
Mm-hmm.
So you can save that by using the direct-to-consumer model. So you can get a really nice set of irons for, well equipped for $600 or $700 versus $1,200 in a lot of cases.
That's awesome. Talk about your wedges. There's a lot of choices for wedges. All of a sudden there's like, oh my God, it's like overwhelming, all the different types of wedges. Talk about your short game stuff, your wedges. What do you offer and what do you think about that part of the game right now?
Well, you're going to see a lot of different grinds and bounces because people, play short game shots or wedge shots differently. So the key is, not only being fit for the right shaft and length and lie and grip size and all that stuff, but having the correct turf interaction. So we have wedges that are meant for players that get more creative, think more, fill or Seve. And that grind's going to be different than somebody who's playing the shot more like Steve Stricker, where it's straightforward, right? Where you want a little bit more roll to the sole on it so it slides. So you kind of have to look at how the player plays each shot with the wedge and how they view that shot, and then you correlate the wedge grind to how they're going to play it or perform on the golf course. So you have to make that match happen, and that's why you see so many different grinds. And we're here to help customers with that, to make sure that what they're getting matches up to their game or how they see the golf shot. But there's a lot of variety for good reason because people play shots differently around the greens and 100 yards and in.
And how your club interacts with the turf. A higher bounce, it's going to bounce a little more. It gets a little more, what is it? It has a higher arc to it with a higher bounce, right?
It wants to slide more, right? Yeah. A little bit more. So if you're steep, you use a little bit more bounce and a little bit more roll. If you're shallow, angle of attack, you can get away with a little bit lower bounce and a turf interaction that's not as quite traditionally rounded. So we talk to the customers and say, hey, tell me how you play this. How do you visualize it? How do you see it? And then you can kind of match it up based on our experience to help customers out to make sure they're getting the right grind.
So I'm going to have all the contact info at the bottom of the video, the website and phone number, but it sounds like if you call the customer service desk and tell them about what you're looking for, you've got experienced people to coach and help those people with what they need.
100%, because everything's getting custom made for you here, right? So nothing is pre-made. So we want to make sure that the part of this had to work as a customer service had to be like Nordstrom level for this to work. So if they reach out, there's competent, smart people here in Sycamore that can answer the questions and say, in our experience, here's what you need and here's why. So we're not even like sales guys. Basically, we're like consultants. Yeah. Tell me what's going on and we'll make sure you're, it's good. The equipment should work for you. And when you've done it thousands of times, you can almost get like a sixth sense of what's happening and, what that customer is going to need.
Yeah. You're making my job easy. That kind of answers my next question. I was going to say why sub 70, but it sounds like you've got a quality product, but you have the coaching and guidance to back it up and help people making the right decisions on what they need.
That's what we saw. We saw that the major, bigger companies, and hopefully sub 70s, getting close to being a major companies, that the customer service is not where it was when I first started in golf. And we wanted to have our clients be able to reach out, talk to us, email us to respond and coach them through what they need and do it in a honest, ethical way that we don't upcharge somebody, if they don't need it, and put that customer first and make sure what they're getting helps them and it fits them.
Love it. So you can go to the website. It'll be in the video, golfsub70.com. The phone number will be there. Let's talk about timing. We are in the golf season. Thank God, finally. Somebody goes to your website, they look around, they like what they see what they like, they call your service desk, put it all together. What kind of a time frame are they looking for clubs to be delivered?
2 to 3 weeks right now, because we're in the busiest time of the year for us to build the clubs and get it out to you.
Not bad though. That's awesome.
No, not terrible, but it's, that's kind of what we normally run, say between April and August is 2 to 3 weeks. In the wintertime would be 1 to 2 weeks.
So all types of clubs. I see you also have accessories, apparel, bags, and everything else. So
yep,
kind of the one-stop shop.
Yeah, hopefully. And the apparel's been fun to do too, right? Because it's kind of cool to see the logo, as we call it, like out in the wild, right? Somebody wearing it. It's been great branding for us to be able to have the apparel out there as well, because people go, oh, what's that logo or what is that? And try to make the clothes look cool, a little bit more of a streetwear to it, than traditional clothes. So
you got a great logo. Great
thank
logo.
you. That's kind of the angle.
Yeah, I'm impressed. You and I talked previously to this, and it's amazing what you've built. How has business been going for you these days?
Got a really strong year, extremely strong year. Yeah, I mean, the brand is growing internationally. We're going to be doing a lot more in Europe. So, I mean, we really want to take it as a global brand, and it can be a global brand. And yeah, it's been a really good, fun, solid 5-year run, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. So no complaints.
Jason, congratulations on what you've built. It's nice to see. Like I said at the beginning of the call, local business, that's what drives the economy, and someone like you to go out on the limb and build this and look what it's turning into. What an amazing story. Great job.
Yeah, thank you. And it's fun, right? Don't tell anybody, but I don't have a real job yet. So that's how much I enjoy doing this.
Yeah. I wish, I'm jealous, put it that way. So anyway, if you need to get a hold of Jason or Sub 70, I'll have the website. Again, it's golfsub70.com. The phone number will be in the link. Great company, great products, great customer service, and just support a local business, American made here in the Midwest, and a great story. So, Jason, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I hope we keep in touch. Hope to get out to Sycamore someday and meet you, or if you're in Chicago, we'll get together. And hats off to you, no pun intended, and congratulations on the success over at Sub 70.
Thanks. And you're always welcome in Sycamore. Come on out anytime. We have the fitting center out there. We got our own private bar, come by for a good cocktail, and look forward to meeting you in person.
I will take you up on that. I appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.